Okay, everybody, welcome to Spinoza Chavurah on 22nd of November 2025. Today is Shabbat Toledot. So there you have an image of Jacob and Esau. Okay, please listen and read the gentle reminders whilst listening, please. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for people to dwell together. Please sing along on mute. Could somebody please read this?
I don't mind if you want. Mode ani. I'm grateful every morning for my breath and for the clothing on my body, that I will not be cold. I am grateful. Mode ani, mode ani. I am grateful every morning for the light and for the essence of my life. I am grateful. Modi ani, mode ani. For the bread on my table, that I will not be hungry, and that I will not know sorrow. I am grateful. Mode ani, mode ani. For my strength, for my friends, and for my family, I'm grateful. Mode ani, mode ani. For the rain on my fields, and for the changes of the seasons, I am grateful. Mode ani, mode ani. For the day of rest, for all my failures, for my disappointments, my fears, and my obstacles. They are all for my benefit. For all of them I am grateful. Mode ani, mode ani, mode ani, mode ani.
Thank you, Miriam. Sing a song for the Sabbath day, Mizmor Leyom HaShabbat. It is good to be grateful for life, Tov lehodot lechaim, and to sing with joy on this day, Ulezamer besimcha hayom. Mizmor Leyom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot lechaim, Ulezamer besimcha hayom, Ulezamer besimcha hayom. While we sing with joy, we recognize that there are those present who may be in mourning, remembering those they have lost. And to them, we say these words of consolation. May you find within you comfort and rest. Timsu betochechem nechama umenucha. And could somebody else read this, please?
It is not only about who we love, but how we let ourselves be loved, how we learn to believe we are worthy of care, even in our most unguarded moments. Let us live in such a way that our love is unconditional, not only toward others, but toward ourselves. Let us allow the love we receive to change us, to soften us, to heal us. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me.
Thank you, James. Could somebody else read this, please? Just
O
the
peace to
English.
you, my lover, so pure and ruddy. O peace to you, cheeks of pomegranate. and triumph like the son of Jesse over Ammon's Rabbah. Wherefore, lovely one, do you try to wake love and make your voice ring out, cloaked in sounds of bells? The moment love desires, I'll draw near to you with all speed and pour myself upon you like the about Hermon.
Would somebody else like to read this?
The Shema invites us to listen to the call that arises from within and between us. It affirms our peoplehood while speaking to our connections across families, communities, and the world. It reminds us that while our lives are different, our shared goal is to make life more just, compassionate, and meaningful. We affirm that change is in our hands. We don't wait for miracles. We become the miracle through kindness, action, and solidarity. This is our sacred task, to listen, to unite, to build a better world together.
Thank you. Listen, Yisrael, we are all one, and our destiny is one. So come, let us work together to repair this world. Shema Yisrael, kulanu echad, ve'yihudenu echad. Hava na'avod, letaken, et ha'olam hazeh. We choose to live with passion, purpose, and compassion. We carry our values within us and live them with integrity. By our actions and our care, we teach the next generation. Every moment is an opportunity to live with meaning. Let our deeds reflect our values and our vision be shaped by kindness and truth. May our homes be places of justice, love, and welcome, and may our communities reflect the world we are helping to build. ונאהב את החיים בכל לבבינו ובכל נפשנו ובכל מאודנו, ויהיו הדברים האלה על לבבינו, ושיננו לבנינו, ונדבר בם בשבתנו בביתנו ובלכתנו בדרך, ובשכבנו ובקומנו, וקשרנום לאות על ידינו, והיו לטוטפות בין עינינו, וכתבנום על מזוזות ביתנו ובשערינו. We pause for silent reflection. Could somebody read this?
May those who have returned from captivity find healing, support, and renewed dignity. May all who suffer in Gaza, civilians hungry, displaced, and in need of care, return to homes that are rebuilt, safe, and nurturing. We affirm our shared hope for a day when Israelis and Palestinians, Jews, Christians, Muslims, and all who live between river and sea can dwell securely among their fig trees and grapevines, in Tel Aviv, in Ramallah, in Gaza City, without fear. May we work towards a future without needless deaths, without terror or despair, without lives cut short. May we commit to safety, justice, self-determination, and a healthy future for every people and every child in this land. May peace come soon, and may we help bring it. Let us say Amen.
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 And as it is Shabbat Toledot, instead of having a a discussion on Toledot, I thought we could watch this interesting video about how Toledot is observed, or the Makam tradition in the Makam tradition in the Sephardi tradition of Toledot.
Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham fathered Isaac. How Abraham authenticates his life. He is the father of Isaac. Isaac authenticates his life this way. He is Abraham's son. Was it not enough that each of them, father and son, derived his worth from the other? When one of them was lacking, he could fill up with the other. I love you enough, said Abraham. I love you enough. I give you the gift of my love. When you cannot find it in yourself, I love you that much. I love you enough, said Isaac, to give you the gift of my love. When you cannot find it in yourself, I give it to you. I love you that much. I love you that much. Whatever you cannot find in yourself, you may fill up from me. Toldot, Makam, Mahur.
I really like that because in the Sephardi tradition, the Parsha is recited according to that mode. There's a mode for each Parsha. And what they did was play the mode with instruments, and then he read the part of the message of the Parsha in English in a poetic form. And also because it didn't mention God, so I thought that was just really appropriate and nice to include. Okay, one sec. I'm not seeing the top line. Can somebody read the first paragraph and then I'll read the second paragraph like that?
Shabbat and the festivals are temples in time, set apart for rest, renewal, and ethical clarity. We cross their threshold with breath, silence, poetry, and song. The goal isn't to escape the world, it's to return to it more awake and more accountable. As spiritual humanistic Jews, we treat the Jewish calendar, rhythm, and beauty as tools for inner life and for community repair, rituals that tell the truth.
We keep beloved forms, Hebrew, melodies, candles, wine, bread, talit, not as obedience to a command we do not claim, but as aesthetic, ethical, and communal practices. Candle lighting is a sensory pause that welcomes Shabbat's gentleness. Kiddush blesses the fruit of the vine and the light in life, anchoring joy in gratitude and honoring the natural world and our relationship to it. Donning a talit can be a meditation on clothing ourselves in chesed, loving kindness, and chemla, compassion. Each ritual is transparent about its meaning and purpose. Community is the locus of the sacred. We place the holy between people. We share readings, sing together, and use silence as well as speech. Leadership is facilitation, not hierarchy. We cultivate a culture where every voice matters and no one prays for us. We pray with one another. The community's courage, care, and accountability are the answer to our prayers. We honor Jewish language and music because they carry memory and beauty, but we speak plainly about what we mean. Texts rooted in tradition are framed to align with humanistic integrity. We keep poetry, metaphor, and an exalted tone. We release claims we do not hold. Hebrew remains a living vessel which carries with it a sense of continuity and connection with the past. What does this give us? A path that preserves beauty without supernaturalism, devotion without dogma, and tradition without pretense. It invites us to breathe, to bless, to sing, to argue, to grieve, to celebrate, and then to act. In short, spiritual humanistic Judaism is the art of shaping sacred time and honest language so that our lives together tilt toward wisdom, compassion, and joy. So for the discussion, what kind of Shabbat do we have or wish we had in our lives? From lighting candles or turning off devices, shared meals, study, nature walks, or creative rituals. What kind of Shabbat do we have or wish we had in our lives? From lighting candles or turning off devices, shared meals, study, nature walks, or creative rituals. And I will attempt to stop sharing. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to put the question discussion in the chat as well. Okay. Jonathan?
I just want to say I really love that reading. That was beautifully expressed because humanistic Judaism, there are different understandings of what Shabbat could be. And for some humanistic Jews, if Shabbat has any meaning, and I really mean if, and I don't mean that critically, but I mean if, it's about simply Jewish identity. It's not about what I would call rest and spirituality. And so I thought that really beautifully expressed trying to create a spiritual space, if you will, in time for a humanistic Jewish community. To me, I'll say the biggest challenge is, as a humanistic Jew, is the challenge of community on Shabbat, because um, there aren't more traditional branches of Judaism, I think, do a better job of drawing people together on Shabbat. So you have a minyan or something like that, or a group to participate in. Whereas humanistic Judaism is so, I'll say, so non-halakhic, and what humanistic Jews are supposed to do, if anything, on Shabbat can be so open that having a real community to experience Shabbat with, I find is one of the big challenges for me.
Absolutely, me too. I share all of that as well. Thank you. Don't be shy.
I would say
I was thinking about this. Oh, go ahead.
I would say whatever suits you on the day. I don't think it necessarily needs to do the same thing um, every Shabbat. Um, that's it, really.
Yeah, sure.
That's all I have to say.
What tends to suit you, Adam?
Um, um, honestly, I think it depends on the day. Um, all of the suggestions work for me. Um, certainly, probably the biggest one at the moment is no smartphones or having smartphones on aeroplane mode. Um, I I'm better in conversation with no smartphone, and I appreciate nature more, and people are more interesting, and nature's more beautiful without a smartphone. It's something that I try to do generally, but of course, it's the 21st century, so it's not always possible. So if I had to pick one, I would say smartphone reduction on Shabbat and specific times where it's a hard no, especially in um, on a Zoom meeting such as this. Obviously, London's too far away for me, um, and during times of study and conversation and spending time in nature.
Thank you.
I think at this moment I'm experiencing a bit of a gap between what I want from Shabbat and what I'm experiencing in Shabbat right now. What I would like for Shabbat is some sense of rhythm and a distinct difference between Shabbat time versus the rest of the week time. I myself am not super halakhically minded. I do take more of the cafeteria approach, you might say, of picking those mitzvot that I find meaningful, those traditions I find meaningful, and not doing other things that I don't. So I have a lot of flexibility in what they might look like, but to me, the key is intentionality. And right now, I think the challenging is when you live in community, and in my case, just in the context of a family, you're dealing with other people and their ideas about Shabbat. And sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. And that can be challenging. It's not a big deal, but it does seem like sometimes I wish it would be easy. It would be easier, certainly, if life was simpler. So I would say that. I think as far as the specifics, though, of what to me makes a meaningful Shabbat, it's it being in a different mode. So having space and time for doing things like going out in nature, going for a long bike ride, spending time with family and friends, and in different ways than you would during the week. And certainly davening and engaging in liturgy in some way would be, I think even right now, I'm frustrated that Friday night, you try to go to Shabbat's evening services here in Oklahoma City when I can on Friday nights, but lately it's just been very challenging just due to family stuff. And I wish that it was easier to have a rhythm, but it's also there's other commitments too. So I don't know. I'm frustrated right now, but also I recognize that sometimes there's conflicting values and we do the best we can.
Thank you.
Our experience is sort of somewhat different. We tried the not doing this or not doing that, and that didn't work out. But we've done an additive instead of a subtractive. We did sort of an additive thing. We started with lighting the candles, and then we didn't know what to say. And then we tried this and that, and right now we're doing the Modeh Ani. We were doing a Nigun, which was not a no words Nigun, but a few words Nigun. And we've changed that to the Modeh Ani, which we really enjoy. And then we've started doing something else. We started listening to the Parsha from Rabbi Dweck. And we find that to be thoughtful and interesting. So we do that. We're adding things, and gradually I don't know where it'll lead, but it makes for a contemplative evening start, and we're getting a lot out of it so far.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely. Rabbi Dweck has fans everywhere. Yeah. Does anyone not know who Rabbi Dweck is?
I was wondering if someone would post a link or something in the chat or say something, which is also more direct, but
About Rabbi Dweck?
yes.
Do you want to say who he is?
I'll let you post something in the chat, but
Okay.
Rabbi Dweck is the chief rabbi of the old Sephardic temple in London, and his understanding of God, if you look for, in fact, that would be a great thing to post, is really wonderful. It's very Spinoza and Rambam-esque, which is what Sephardi look to. And so he mentions God and things sometimes in his Parsha, but the way he looks at it, he even made a point last time of saying, of course, God doesn't have arms and doesn't come here and doesn't do this, doesn't do that, doesn't look like a person and all that. That's sort of understood, but he just has the most interesting take on everything. The one for this week was about how the difference between the personalities of Esau and Jacob, and how one is an in the now person, completely in the now, has no connection to the past or the future, and Jacob is the one who deserves the birthright according to his mother as well, because he's the one who's concerned with the past and the future and the generation to generation and that sort of thing. And it was very interesting about the different types of personalities one could have and what the meaning of that is. I don't know. I always find his Parsha very thoughtful. And this year we started with the first one of the year, after the new year. And so we're hoping he'll go the whole year, but he's stepping down next year to make Aliyah, because his children they're grown, I think, but they live in Israel. So he won't be doing this any longer, but I'm sure there's ones from the past we could look into, I suppose.
He's also very supportive of LGBT people. He gave a famous shiur talk.
Trouble for it.
Yeah, he got a lot of flack for it, but his community kept him. So that's brilliant. Yeah. Miriam, were you trying to say something before? You're muted at the moment.
No, I know. I was just trying to, yeah. Oh, I am unmuted now, am I? Yeah, good. I suppose what I was thinking, Shabbat, I've got the association when I was the candles and the meal, and that didn't really do anything to me because I was just bored. Now, whatever reason, emotionally, I'm sort of into this humanistic Judaism. In other words, getting something of the childhood, something of the being Jewish, something that can relate to me in a very personal way that I don't want to lose. It's a cliche about throwing off the baby with the bathwater. Yes, I'm a secular Jew. Yes, I'm a humanist, but I do want something. I may not be able to put it into words very much what it is, but I'm looking at humanistic Judaism and feeling that's what it is, because probably everybody else, wherever they started, was thinking, yes, looking for this, and by some way found their way here. In terms of what I'd want to do in Shabbat, I think what a couple of people have said, it's do something different, make yourself feel different, spirituality and emotionally, just something that distinguishes. And of course, again, as I think was already said, that it could be different for everyone and different for every Shabbat, but it would have to be. But yeah, just so I suspect for me, it would just be a sort of quieter time emotionally and giving myself permission to be quiet, maybe. Maybe might just be something listening to my favorite music or something like that, but something that feels it's somehow not what Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday is. Beyond that, I don't know. As I said, I'm very much at base camp, I think, so I'm very much taking heed of what everybody else is saying on that and drawing on that for ideas and developing my own thought processes on it.
Thank you. I just saw a hand, but it's disappeared. I don't know who that was. I think it was Lang.
That's me. A couple of things I would say. I enjoy exploring what's working, so I'm not frustrated by the process at this point. It might help that I'm new-ish to it, and that my now spouse brought Judaism into my home, an atheistic practitioner. But we were lighting candles and we were having challah and we were having that sense of Shabbat being special. And it puzzled me at first. It's like, why are you excited on Tuesday? Because it's Friday coming. But that kind of sense of excitement for it is not so new now, but I think it was a wonderful welcome into how life can be different. One thing I will say that has helped me in my personal journey, I work a very emotionally taxing and physically tiring job. I commute about 3 hours a day, 4 days a week, and I deal with people who are with severe mental health issues in an incarceration environment. And when I decided and learned that I could and needed to find ways to lean into both joy and rest, Shabbat keeps me. I don't know that I could do the rest of my life effectively if I didn't do the Shabbat in that spirit. It's looking like different things at different times, but it's become like really, really, really important to make that separation, to have a different rhythm. I guess part of what we do, we now go to Reform Services most Fridays, and when I finish here, I'm going into Torah study. So my wife has already gone in, and my friends are walking by, and I'm seeing the people going to B'nai Mitzvah this morning, and there's this sense of being in but not fully of that environment right now. Trees are beautiful. It's autumn. It's mild weather in Memphis. The National Guard have not totally disrupted us. They're picking up trash. The ice is disruptive. There's a lot of troublesome in the world, but this is a peaceful place and a peaceful day. We make Havdalah. I think that making the separation in a more visible way it makes it more poignant and precious, the time that we do spend in Shabbat time. I'm not giving up my electronics because it connects me with people like you. It connects me to music. It's the way I access much of my learning. and I'll still go outside sometimes. I do fast from politics and disturbing news to the maximum extent possible. I put a fence, and that is not what we do for Shabbat, because it disrupts the peace, and it disrupts the rest, and it disrupts focusing on the joyful things that sustain us. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for giving me space to put words.
Welcome. Thank you for sharing with us. Sounds brilliant. I have Aaron and then Gabrielle.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Lovely service. These days I'm trying to take a eco-socialist approach as an atheist, as a humanistic Jew, and a secular Buddhist. Also a feminist critique. It has been brought to my attention by my wife how many of these things, traditions, how much of this, the do's and the don'ts, were on the backs of women. And so any consideration has to be now for several years, because I've said before, I spent 15 years as an Orthodox, trying to be an Orthodox Jew, and unfortunately putting my family through that. But so the whole discussion, I like what people have said about additive, not subtractive. It's not you cannot. It's whatever you choose, kind of the palette of, and as my son years ago pointed out, this is really, at least in the US, this is really about a weekend, about how Jewish and Christian socialists fought for the 5-day work week and for a weekend. And unless that also happened in Europe, maybe that's where I can't remember where it started, but yeah. So anyway, the freedom to not have to work, at least for those of us who work during the week, because I used to work on weekends, to have 2 days off and do whatever you want to do. Oh, sweet. So anyway, but I just wanted to, mention all that. I'll stop rambling, but that I've now become cautious about the old discussion, about what do's and don'ts and what sort of prohibitions. I know we don't have any prohibitions anymore, just because we already did that. And it was not fun. So anyway, but I'm so glad I love the music and everything, and I thought it was so funny, the Epicurus laughed so hard about that. So it was cool. And anyway, I pass, but hugs to everyone.
Thank you so much. I love the additive, not subtractive. That encapsulates everything, really. Thank you. Gabrielle?
Yep. When you were stating the question, I kept saying yes, yes, yes. Those are all the things I would like to have with my Shabbat. And one of the paradoxes. I have executive dysfunction issues. I have absolutely very bad sense of timekeeping, and I've always been late to everything ever since I remember. Uh, I realized just in the last few years what there was, and I could name it, and I could relate it to others, to other things. And it's been paradoxical that I said, well, now I mean, life circumstances haven't made it easier to have a weekend uh, uh, or a sort. I don't have that luxury right now. Um, that's why I've been fighting so hard, at least to have uh, one Shabbat every 2 weeks, let's say. But what I do, the additive subtractive thing has been, as Lane was saying, to keep myself out of reach from news. I'm a news junkie, so no news, especially no political news, um, and uh, and to at least keep that source of not only not only stress, but also distraction from present life. Because one of my issues is that uh, uh, I'm often not present, not in the Esau Yaakov sense, but just in the sense that I'm not engaged with things around me. Uh, and for better or for worse. So yeah, keeping even, and I do enjoy um, services and content of different Jewish, um, mostly humanistic, but not only people that post. But whenever I know they're going to be centering on something that it's of contemporaneous politics, I say not today, maybe some other day, because I can't engage right now. I need to set that little space around my thing. Yeah, it's not Satan, but yeah, it's. I mean, I can understand why in a community setting and in a humanistic setting and pikuach nefesh and all that. But the thing is, I am all the time engaging on that. So yeah, it's it's a way to kind of preserve my sanity, and yes, but and I don't have anyone to do any rituals with, and if I don't have a side structure, I do not have inner source of structure. So it is, and now with my work that it's night shifts, you can imagine. I mean, all structure is gone on the wayside. But for me, I can understand the yearning for Shabbat uh, that many people had. What I didn't understand until recently, but I don't know, is that many of those songs about love, it was not only love for the Shabbat, but also Shabbat also was for love, couples love. And I didn't completely realize that until recently, that it was part of the tradition. That's part of the reason all those songs had so many undertones. It was, well, this is so I can understand the joy of people singing, saying, oh, we're going to have a good time, as long as it's consensual, always, of course. Yeah. Yes, Aaron is saying yes, absolutely, and I'm having part of those things. I know Martin is asking us not to comment on the chat, but we're so hard not to
It's
not to do
okay.
it.
It's okay when we're discussing. It's just
Yeah.
not when I'm screen sharing because
No. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but Aaron is saying it's very hard. It really it it makes it difficult to be focused on things, especially especially working at nights, because working at nights means you have two daylights out of I mean two the days before and after are not really very conducive to productive things. But yeah. Anyway, that's my take. So I keep many materials that nourish me, Jewish and not, that give me that sense of gratefulness, joy, connection, uh, to to be to pull me in, so I can be more in the present than in the whatever. It takes me
Yeah.
away from the present.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Thanks. I saw a hand. Is it Judith?
Yes. This beautiful hour is my Shabbat. And I just want to say thank you for bringing this beauty, this peace, this inspiration into our lives. Right now, I'm living in a shared household where I'm the only Jewish member of the household. And ritual in itself was never important to me. And I just feel that, with a lot of people, I need to attend to the pace of the household, what's going at, people with all their different schedules and so forth. Um, I want to thank Gabrielle, because I think something that would help me would be if I turned off the news for this one day a week. Just turn off the news and have a day of peace. So thank you, Gabrielle, for that. I find studying, which I do on other days, not on traditional Shabbat, has also been very helpful, because I think the Jewish experience has enabled us to be honest. It's not a hagiographic experience. It's not an experience which tells us to live the lives of saints. It's an experience that asks us to grapple with complexity. And I find that very helpful, but maybe, Gabrielle, you're right. Do it during the week. That's work. So thank you, everybody, for this beautiful community.
Thank you, Judith. It sounds like at the base level, we're all on a very similar page, or at least page 1, 2, 3. We all believe that Shabbat is meaningful. It's how we honor Shabbat that differs slightly, or there's some diversity in how we honor it. But I'm very pleased to hear that everybody values Shabbat. Like Jonathan, in a way, I also feel sometimes a little bit. I mean, I've been in some humanistic communities where I don't think I don't think I would have known it was Shabbat um, had it not been for the fact that I observe it, um, which was a little bit disheartening for me because Shabbat's always been very important to me. I think a lot of people believe that Shabbat is like what is the famous quote, the cathedral of Judaism, and for me that's very true. So, but also I went from being younger and being a nightmare as a teenager about it, and then being slightly less of a nightmare when I was in my early 20s, but I was still a nightmare. I went from nightmare to bad dream to, yeah. And I mean that for others really, because it was like I used to focus on what I was not allowed to do and running around trying to be ready for the right time, what I considered was the right time. And and it really brought me a lot of anxiety, actually. There was all this anxiety around when Shabbat was coming. And now that I don't worry so much about uh, absolutely everything being ready, um, I do still always know what time Shabbat is. I have an alarm on my phone. I 95% of the time am ready for when Shabbat comes in halachically. Um, but I'm not worried about not having finished the food exactly at the right time. And, I'm not worried about the fact that I'm going to have to switch my lights off or put timers on, and because that's what I used to do. Um, and it was quite nice because I used to have lots of Moroccan lamps, and I would run around lighting them all in time. And it actually made for quite a nice atmosphere. But there was once that I forgot a timer, and I couldn't. I had to walk to the bathroom in the dark and stuff like this. And in winter in the UK, especially, it's already dark now. So it's like what, 4:19. So, when it's dark at 4:30 or 3:30, it's not a very nice environment for either myself or other people. And so now I'm just kind of I very much look forward to Shabbat coming in. I very much look forward to observing it, but there's more joy in it, and there's more kind of like, I don't think that I'm not allowed to do certain things. I think that I am allowed because I allow myself to not do those things. And those things that I'm not doing help me avoid, like for example, um, paying for public transport, you know, making people in restaurants work to serve me when, it's like it's Shabbat, they shouldn't really be serving me. And, all of those kinds of little things, for me, they become more meaningful because it's like a break from the mundane, a break from the rest of the week. And I've lost my point as usual. But you get what I mean. I have a very neurodivergent way of finishing up my points. Um, okay. Would anyone else like to say anything, or should I move on with the last quarter of the service? Is that a move on? Okay, good. Um, okay, would somebody like to read the blessing for having given Divrei Torah, words of learning?
Let us bless our people who gives us the Torah of humanity, understanding and wisdom. It is planted within us. We will bless our people who give us Torah. Amen.
נברך את עמנו אשר נתנו לנו את תורת האדם, בינה וחוכמה ניטעו בתוכנו, נברך את עמנו נותני התורה. We now turn our minds and hearts towards those who need our love, who are ill, who are lonely, who suffer pain, or who have been wronged. Let us pause as we call out or remember their names.
Robert,
Earl.
yes. Rosary.
Karen, Susie and Deborah.
Marianne
And
Wiggins.
Connie,
Ricky and Jennifer.
I'm thinking of all the genuine asylum seekers and refugees in the UK, or immigrants who have families who are now worried about their future because of the new oppressive law that's coming into place in the UK. May there be a complete renewal for those who are sick, a renewal of spirit, a renewal of body, and we say, Amen. Yiyena refuah shlema lacholim, refuat nefesh urefuat guf, venomar, Amen. And let us stand as we recall those who are no longer with us. If you're remembering anyone at this point in time, please say their names aloud.
Brian Funk.
Dan.
Taryn and Marianne.
Eva, Carlos,
Could somebody read out the names that are in the chat?
New William,
Jeffrey Goldman.
Don and Kathy Smallwood, and Susan Rodriguez.
May there be a good remembrance and compassion and kindness and love from all the world upon our honorable loved ones who are no longer present. Let us make a place in our hearts to remember their good names, and let us honor them with good deeds. And we say together, may their memory be a blessing. יהי נא זכרם טוב וחסד ברחמים ואהבה מכל העולם לכבוד אהובינו שאינם עוד. אבל ננשוא בלבנו את שמותיהם הטובים ונכירם במעשים טובים. זיכרונם לברכה, Amen. Be seated. Would somebody like to read the Kiddush after? Sorry, if you can get your wine or grape juice or whatever you use for Kiddush, and then when we are ready, if somebody would like to read the blessing in English.
Are we ready?
I am.
And we, humanity, keep the Shabbat, to observe the Shabbat through our generation as an everlasting covenant. For 6 days we work, and for the 7th day we rest, and we are refreshed. Therefore, let us bless the Shabbat day and sanctify it, blessing the light and life, and blessed is the fruit of the vine to life.
Thank you. ושומרים בני האדם את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם, כי 6 ימים עשו מלאכה, וביום השביעי שבתו וינפשו. על כן נברך את יום השבת ונקדשהו. ברוך האור בחיים, וברוך פרי הגפן לחיים. And now for the challah, whatever bread you use, you set aside for the Shabbat. And when we're ready, if somebody would like to read the English.
If we can eat and drink together, we can live and love together. So let us bless those that bring forth bread from the earth.
אם נוכל לאכול ולשתות יחדיו, נוכל להיות ולאהוב יחדיו. לכן נברך את המוציאים לחם מן הארץ. אמן.
When Shabbat, cum salut divina. When Shabbat, a toda la familia. When Shabbat, cum salut divina. Años muchos, con paz y alegría. La la la, 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 la la la. When Shabbat, cum salut divina. When Shabbat, a toda la familia. When Shabbat, cum salut divina. Años muchos, con paz y alegría. La la la, 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 la la la.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Or
Shabbat Shalom.
Mm.